So, we are Printivate, and we fix 3D models and optimize them to save time and money. Architecture is probably the first engineering field to use 3D concepts in a practical way. And right now, we have a lot of advanced 3D modeling tools that every architect uses in order to conceptualize and realize their design. And the last big addition to the architecture toolchain is the 3D printer. And this is where a big problem appears. So designing objects for 3D printing is a lot more tedious than designing them for visualization. And this means that the current 3D modeling tools are not fully compatible with 3D printing. So when we export an object from one of these tools, it will have errors, which will make it difficult, if not impossible, to 3D print. And to give you an example, to find one of these errors in this model, we have to focus in one particular area and zoom in quite a lot. And even now, it's not very clear what's happening. Well, to give you some pointers, the problem is that this model self-intersects along the highlighted line. And this model right here, it has over 3,000 such defects. So in this type of situations, we can get an incorrect print, which just gets thrown away. And currently, architects are fixing this by hand, wasting entire days on making their models 3D printable. And our solution is an automated tool that can fix the models, and we can further optimize them to reduce the printing cost by as much as 80%. All of this is being done through an interface that the architect is familiar with by using plugins in his modeling tool of choice. And behind the scenes, the plugin connects to our online API, which fixes the model, downloads the result, and all of this is being done transparent to the user. There are currently over 500,000 architecture companies worldwide who are making around 5 million models per year and wasting around 10 million work days per year. So this is a total of $1.5 billion wasted. Our business model is straightforward. We're going to charge a price for a model that we fix. And our go-to-market is to integrate with the two top modeling tools that architects use, because they take up the majority of the market. So let's take a look at a quick demo here. I am first going to send the 3D model through Printivate so that we don't have to wait. And then, okay, it will take around 30 seconds, 40 seconds to process. And now I'm going to open this model up in a 3D model viewing program. It looks quite okay. It's part of an architectural ensemble, what you see here. And until we really focus on one particular area, we don't really see any of the problems. But if we zoom in, we see we're starting to see something here. This is a gap in the model. And this is a clear case where the tools that we use are lying to us because they don't know that they created this gap. Even the viewing program has trouble showing this because, as you can see, it's trembling. Okay. And if I zoom out, then it's clear that this problem is not viewable to the human eye. Okay, we managed to fix 2,000 defects. Now let's take a look at the result right here. I'm just going to save it, open it up. Looks identical to the original one until you take a closer look and you see that the defects are all gone. Again, we get the same shaky behavior, but the gap is not present here. So fixing this by hand would take around 4 hours. For us, it takes 40 seconds. Another concrete example, on your top left, you see the broken defective model printed, and on the bottom right is the correct printed one, the correct version. And you can get from the top left to the bottom right either by 3 days of manual work or by 30 minutes of Printivate. Right now, we are running a pilot with the biggest architecture company here in Cluj, and our short-term goal is to get to 10 customers within 2 months and to have our plugins ready and approved within 1 more month. We are Printivate. We fix 3D models and optimize them to save time and money. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Printivate. Okay, what does the jury say?
Seems like you've solved a big problem for these guys, but is this more of a bug fix on top of an existing software that they're using? Like, I mean, are they gonna just like replace you with like, yeah, we just solved this problem? Or do you have like a sustainable business on your own that you think your IP is so unique that they won't be able to just like fix it and you disappear?
Thank you. This is a very insightful question. The problem that you saw is actually a gap in the way that we do 3D modeling. So until 3D printing came along, things like the defect that I showed you were not important. They existed, but they weren't important. And now they suddenly became important because by mistake we end up designing 3D objects that cannot be represented in the real world. So when you send such an object to a 3D printer, it will try to guess what you actually meant when you designed it, but sometimes it doesn't work. So basically, something like this, you can either, an intelligence like the one I have in my project, you can either embed it in, change the way we do design, all of them, as a whole, or you can just use it as a separate tool. And, well, in the end, it might be something that some big company might consider acquiring to basically fix their tools. So it's not exactly a bug. It's more of the way things work now, and it was good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what my notice is about the sustainability of that business model, right? So probably it's a one-time loss, and then you sell the company and the problem is solved. But with respect to the business model, maybe I missed it, but you said you can save 1.2 billion US dollars, but how do you charge the customers? I missed that. How much do they pay?
You didn't miss it because I didn't say it explicitly. Right, so we're still exploring this, but it will be proportional to the amount of effort that we save. So you can consider that an architect would waste 2 days making one huge building compatible with 3D printing. So that's a huge interval for us that we can tap into. We don't have a fixed price yet, but well, this will be comparable to that.
So what's fixing it, for example, Autodesk just solving the problem themselves, hiring one, two smart, a couple of smart people, and just making it another feature of the software?
As I said, you can't really just add this on top. So they will have to change the way they do modeling. So this problem goes to the core of the way we do modeling. But then again, with enough effort, anything can be copied. So there's the Google argument right there.
What would be the typical customers and how do you get to them? Core target market view.
Typical customers would be architecture companies who do architecture design and want their models 3D printed.
Big, small, medium?
Any size. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to get to them by using the marketplaces that already exist inside their tools. So this will be our channels. The two main tools that you saw there from Autodesk and from Graphisoft. So they have marketplaces, and we're going to build plugins for those marketplaces and get to their whole customer base by using those.
Sorry, can I ask the question?
Sure, of course.
Sorry. Is it patented? Can you patent the technology? I mean, if you do, I guess your answers are sort of answering the question.
I don't think I have an answer for this question. I will look into it.
Maybe that's your strongest thing. If you can. Thanks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the chance to get the full Printivate.